Hello again and Happy New Year. I wanted to say that I feel better now that I've wanted to do some game reviews and discussions for over a long time, and now that I've done one video that took an unreasonable time to make. I wanted to celebrate that with a end or beginning of the year special with me recalling most of the games I've played in 2022. There were a lot of games I played but only managed to finish a few, and I will count those games on a list that I have in about a paragraph or two. My rules are that it doesn't have to be a game that came out this year, and it could be a game that I've played in the past and I gained some form of appreciation that I just want to talk about it and list them off, and I'm going to list them off by the day I played them through January to December. With that out of the way, here's the games I played throughout 2022. At the beginning of the list, I have Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, a game I've been playing a long time ago and haven't touched until earlier this year. This game is a part of my childhood when I got it back on the Wii U of Christmas of 2014. Now that I have it, I will say for now that this is a unique Mario game and it has aged pretty well. This is a game I've been playing in 2021, but I didn't beat it until somewhere this year, and I have to give it a spot on this list. Sonic Colors is a game that I think is pretty solid with fun levels to play and red rings to collect. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than that, so yeah, moving on. Here's a game that's interesting, Super Paper Mario. The last time I beat this game was back in 2016 when a good friend of mine loaned it to me, and I haven't touched it until this year. My thoughts is that this is a weird adventure, but I like it, with the turn-based combat turning into a platformer, some great music, funny moments, and a story that is considered one of, if not the best of the Mario series. This is a game that has a lot going for it, but it's not perfect as some of the puzzles are a bit annoying, and some of the parts of the game drags a long time, and it kinda doesn't want me to play it again, or yeah. But overall, I think this game has a lot going for it, and yeah, that's it. So we finally have a game that came out this year, Pokemon Legends Arceus. To be honest, I haven't played it in a long time, and I don't really have much else to say other than, well, I mean, I like the changes that they did to make Pokemon feel fresh, and yeah, that's about it. This is a game I've been playing for 5 years now, and this is the first time that I've played it on the Wii U, and I did something new. I decided to beat the game without beating the 4 Divine Beasts, and it was pretty interesting since I had to find most of the shrines on the map without really having to go to those areas, and I experienced the final boss differently than I would have before. So yeah, game has, freedom and all that stuff, and really, I can't wait for Tears of the Kingdom that's going to be coming out later around mid of the year. I decided to group them together since they have similar attributes but have a distinction that makes me prefer one over the other. With Woolly World, I feel like it was a blast to play through and through with the music, the levels, and the collectibles, which were a lot of fun. I really can't say the same with Crafted World, as the game feels pretty boring with not much in it, and yeah. That's really all I have to say about these two games, and I really don't have much else to say. Yeah. Here's a game that I played on my PC, Black Mesa, the fan remake of Half-Life 1 that is surprisingly great for a remake, and even have extra content such as Zen. The Zen portion of the game was the highlight of my playthrough, especially hearing Ascension in game for the first time. Sonic R is a game that I thought was gonna be bad because of how consistently I heard from people that it was, well, bad. Until a friend of mine played it and gushed about how much he loves the game so and so that I have to give it a shot. And I did via the Sonic Gems collection that I got on my GameCube, and it was better than I expected. While I'm not in love with the game, I really enjoy the mechanics it has, the shortcuts I can perform, and the soundtrack was a big banger to listen through. The game is fun, but like I said before, I'm not in love with it, as because there's another Sonic racing game that took its place, and that game is The only bad thing I could say about the game is that the soundtrack is not as good as R, but the game makes up with the gameplay. The skill ceiling in this game is very high, but that's what makes it fun for me, as to master the game's tricks and perform X-tier stunts is just a lot of fun to do. The character roster is great with choosing what type of character you have and whatever type to access the exclusive shortcuts. My other problem is that both of these games don't have enough courses to play, but I like Sonic Riders a lot and I can't wait to master the game even further. I got an Xbox Series X in the middle of summer, and one of the games I was looking forward to was Kingdom Hearts. In terms of my impressions, this game, and the series as a whole, is weird, but I suppose that's what makes it special. As for the game, I really liked it. The combat was fun and some of the moves were fun to do. Of course, this game has some moments that I didn't like how I would get stuck on the boss and then I would need to have a lot of potions just to be able to survive. And Atlantis. But overall, this game is fun to play and I'm looking forward to playing the rest of the series. Cuphead is a game that is so enjoyable every time I play it. It's not difficult but not easy either, and it just feels right to play. And with the DLC that arrived in the summer, I just want to play more Cuphead and it gave me more tools to play around in future playthroughs. Yeah, that's kinda it for now. What else can I say about Portal 2? Well, not a lot. It's just more everything that Portal 1 has, but crank it up to an 11. I know I really have not much else to say, and I don't really want to sound like a broken record to what people have said before on the game, but I do agree on most what people say on Portal 2, and yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I had a lot of fun playing it with friends of mine, enjoying everything that this game has with a lot of charm. Striker Charge is the first game, but crank it up to an 11. I really like playing the first two Strikers games a lot and look forward to playing more. I want to say something in terms of Battle League. I never played it and I don't really want to get it at all, but if there's one thing positive to say about it, in that it's impact. The game is so poorly received by fans that it could possibly end the way Nintendo makes these sports games, although we have to wait and see if that's gonna happen. Here's a game that I have a lot to say, but I'd rather save it for its own video. All I can say now is that this game is my favorite in the series, and I can't wait for the DLC story to come out. Another game that I would rather save on its own video that I played back in 2016 that I thought was my favorite Zelda game, and it remains to be that way. ShadoKurosu is a game that I had a lot of fun playing again and enjoying more than what most people have. Great vocal tracks, most of the levels are fun, and team dynamic is fun to play. Capping off with a great secret final boss with a banger vocal track. What I'm made of. I want to give a disclaimer that the 3DS game footages are not mine, as I don't have a 3DS capture card and hope to get one soon. But yeah, I hope I get that soon. But anyway, this game gets better every time I play it, and I consider this as my favorite Mario and Luigi game ever made, and one of the best remakes I played so far. Splatoon 3 has some minor changes like 2, but I think some of those changes are meaningful in the long run. The accuracy feels better than 2, some of the stages are pretty good, waiting for a match is better than any game before, the story mode has some great moments, and Semi mode has received some improvements that is actually harder than 2. There are a lot of great additions to talk about, but I'd rather save that for a future video. My only gripe is the soundtrack is kinda weaker than before, but overall, this is the Splatoon game in almost so far. I remember having this game on the 2DS a long time ago, and when I was getting this game again on the new 3DS, it seemed to be free to download. I wanted to share this story as I don't really have much else to say about Link Between Worlds, but I really like it and I would consider it as my favorite 2D Zelda game. One of my most anticipated games of 2022 is Sparks of Hope. When I got around to play it, I thought it was the best they have done so far with the series. The combat has been revamped, the characters are a lot of fun to use, and the overall world is pretty interactive. I will wait for when I can make a video on it, but be sure that this game is one of my favorites on the Switch. What I did differently for this playthrough is to keep track of the collectibles in game. I know that sounds boring, but it actually got me invested in the game and made me plan out my routes on where to get a heart piece. This is one of my most divisive games I've played in a while. On one hand, this game has some low points such as cyberspace and the last island with the ending. By the other hand, the first Titan boss through the second Titan boss were the highest points of the game, and the vocal tracks were fire. Overall, I think this game is okay, not great, not bad. Also, I just want to say that I was the only one who pre-ordered the game at my local GameStop through the Xbox version, and that kind of makes me feel somewhat special. I think these games are pretty good, and I like the open world idea for Pokemon too. Of course, this game has some visual glitches that I find funny, and the performances needed to be fixed. But overall, I think this might be the best Pokemon game on the Switch, and I want to see a game that expands on the ideas of this and Legends Arceus. Another great platformer with some great levels to end each world with a musical level. Just like Sonic Colors, I don't really have a lot to say. After not playing the game for a long time, I came to realize that I love Paper Mario 64. The battle system's engaging, the partners are great to have, using the badges is a lot for customization, and the story, while simple, is fun and engaging. Overall, this game is great, and 1000 Year Door is pretty much like 64, but of course has been expanded, and I like it the same way as 64. That's all the games I played in 2022 and that I was able to talk about. I know most of them got the I will talk later and I don't have a lot to say treatment, but that's how I feel when I was writing this and to sum up my thoughts on something that deserves to be talked about more on its own video. And that I couldn't list off all the games I played this year mainly because I don't have a lot to say, or I don't remember what game it was, or that I think this list is pretty long as it is. I wanted to do another video before ending the year, but something has changed and I didn't have time to do it or even had the motivation to finish. All I hope is that in 2023 I can make more consistent videos to upload, but I can't guarantee that, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to what games I can play, talk about, and get into in 2023, and I hope to have the chance to talk about them. Anyways, thank you for watching and Happy New Year. Bye bye.